Hello Gemini and welcome to January 2020. So, I've meditated on your energy and I laid down the first layer of cards like I usually do. And what Spirit wants to talk to you about for this beginning of a new decade here. The first two cards I got is the Nine of Cups and the Six of Pentacles. So that tells me that you've been working a lot on receiving. The balance of giving and receiving. Of not giving out of a place of lack and allowing yourself to receive for the pleasure of receiving, not for owing something after. Because a true balanced give and take is from a fulfilled place, from a non-expectation place also, for the pleasure of giving, because we are in overflow. That is conscious giving, and conscious receiving is receiving that flow for the pleasure of receiving. And at the same time, our pleasure is a bit the purpose of the other one, giving. So here, Nine of Cups, Six of Pentacles. You arrive in the month in that dynamic. For some of you, you will actually receive something that will make you very happy in the beginning of the month. Some of you, it's a check. For some others of you, it's a handout, a compliment, an offer, whatever. But it's in that optic. After that, I have the Emperor and the Queen of Cups. Queen of Cups, that's our feminine, watery side. The one that allows emotions to come in with the Emperor. So, for some of you, this comes from an Emperor. That means it can be a boss or just a divine masculine that has reached a certain state. And in this case, that would be somebody with whom you feel an emotional connection to. Or it can be you, your divine masculine, inner masculine, that has attained this mastery of acting in your world, controlling your world, based on your intuition, based on how the emotional truth you have access to, and your capacity to allow abundance, emotional abundance. Nine of Cups here, Queen of Cups. After we have the Nine of Pentacles. So as much here you reach the emotional satisfaction on an independent level, this is financial independence. Of knowing your worth, your values, having accumulated something, you are not struggling, you are strong in who you are. So it's almost like having achieved that through your intuition and through your capacity to allow your cup to be big and to receive emotional satisfaction, emotional peace, serenity, and having control through that on your finances or whatnot. With that, I have Justice that came and the Four of Pentacles. So with Justice here, that means that there's this rebalancing happening, where the scales are being balanced. You have scales and scales in the Six of Pentacles and in Justice here. With the Sword of Truth. So you are an air sign. This is Libra. And the Four of Pentacles can be two things here. Either there's going to be a kind of a karmic decision on what you used to hold on to, or this karmic rebalancing. When I say karmic rebalancing, it's when we understand something, and that understanding brings back balance in a situation. So if in the past your situation was struggling financially, struggling in knowing your worth and how much you can receive, then by understanding something, there's the rebalancing of that situation. and bringing you to a 9 of Pentacle, where you know your worth and you can actually start receiving. And the 4 of Pentacle could be that, anyway, I'm going to clarify it, but it could be where we either set roots, because the beginning of a 4 of Pentacle is very good. This is when we get grounded, we solidify, keep our energy, and but at one point energy has to flow, and that's where it becomes a need to let go, to invest, and not just be in fear. Like what was planting and grounding can become a fear. That's why the 4 of Pentacle can be tricky in that sense. Under here, your 6 of Pentacle and the 9 of Cups, I have you, the Lovers, Gemini, and the Queen of Swords. So you see that understanding here, and there is that elevated choice that you make, the Lovers. A clear choice, elevated choice that has been brought by the divine, and that puts you into this situation. This is beautiful. Under our Emperor and our Queen of Cups, I have the 3 of Wands. So that decision, like the 2 of Wands here, the Lovers, is changing what you are expecting to receive. The shape that you want your actions to create, and that you will get back. This is expectation. What is the shape of your expectation? If your expectation before was to struggle and things are hard and whatever, well, of course, this was what was in your boats. But now there's a choice here. There's a real shift in what you expect from the decisions you take. Under our Justice here, Justice is being the major arcana, I have the 8 of Swords. I'm going to clarify this, because this, from having this before, the 8 of Swords here means that this was the situation of maybe feeling trapped, overthinking things, analysis paralysis, but there's a change in this. See the stiffness and the 8 of Sword, the 4 of Pentacle and the 8 of Sword. This is, I am feeling stuck, I am afraid, I am retracting things towards me because I'm afraid of lacking, I'm afraid of suffering, I'm afraid of being left out in the cold, being abandoned, not having enough. It's all these things which puts us in a moment where we can't move anymore. So that could have been what Justice is breaking down, because of what I see here also. So that choice, that understanding, that wisdom that you got. Here I have the Pope, the 10 of Swords, and Death. So you can see clearly that there's been a shift. There's been a transformation, and also the King of Wands. So in how you mastered your will, the directions you took in life, the decisions that dictated your directions, let's say. I am going to create that in the morning. What drives me? What is my fire? That's the King of Wands. He masters his fire. He knows what he wants. He's the mind behind the willpower that is going to do an action out there. So here there's a transformation of how you act out there, where you put your energies, where you put your willpower. Through discernment, we have that 10 of Swords and that Pope, where you saw that this did not have to be your reality, and through engagement and discernment you changed that. You let it transform, letting transform the way that you would put your willpower out there through a decision from your higher self, your inspired higher self, the Lovers. And then here that changes, of course, the way you expect and what you allow to come in, the way you control your life. And here I have this little ambiguity of the Two of Pentacles. So that is Jupiter in Capricorn, which Jupiter is in Capricorn. So that can give us a little timeline of right now, or what happened through the month of December. You probably had that, struggling time, and there you took your decision of, no, this is it for me. I am not living this anymore. Now I will master my willpower. I understand what is give and take, and this is where I'm going. And therefore aligning your unconscious and your conscious into one direction. And that creates a tower, a good tower. And the way you invest yourself and how you put your energy, what you actually bring to shape in this world. This is like work. This is our energy being put out there and what we get out of it. In any situation, of course, it's easy to see it as work because it can be that. This is where I put my energy in my career and I receive a paycheck. Or I'm an artist and I put my art and I actually put my hands in clay and whatever and have a result after that. It can be on the health factor, where I actually put energies into doing things, and these are the results that I have. This is the process of the Eight of Pentacles. A tower on that. A tower in the way that I used to put my energies and what I got out of it. So that what was not founded, what was unbalanced justice will be crumbled. So that is good. It's a good tower. For some of you, it's going to be a big change of job for all of a sudden. Not all of you. Don't go and change your job if you're happy where you are. It's for some of you. I call upon the divine. I call upon the light. I call upon the Holy Spirit. I call upon my guides. Help me clarify this feeling for Gemini for the month of January. Gemini for the month of January. Okay. Show me that Nine of Cups and Six of Pentacles. Nine of Cups and Six of Pentacles. Nine of Cups and Six of Pentacles. Okay, so I have the Seven of Wands, the Two of Swords, and the Eight of Cups. So this is two out of those three are in the moon, and that means in the night. That means inner work, inner decision. Two of Swords right in the middle. There are two ways of seeing life, two ways of two truths. One where we have to fight and defend ourselves. Fight against the current, fight against all these things. Taurus had something like that. And the other, Eight of Cups, where we know that this is not it. Life is more than that. So I'm going to go on that quest to get that Ace of Cups. And that is how you got to the Nine of Cups. because you understood that you could receive much more than what you got until now. And you made that inner decision, or you're going to make it depending of where you are in that time frame, you know, time being fluid. Let's look at that Emperor and the Queen of Cups, Spirit. Emperor, oh, and the Queen of Cups. Ah, yes, you got the understanding, the clarity. See, 2 swords, 1 sword. Oh, I'm taking charge of my life, and now I know exactly what I expect in life. And with the Queen of Cups, it's almost allowing to feel it emotionally before it arrives. Being in the grateful vibration of being in abundance and having all that you have. See, enhancing and seeing the value of your heart and who you are, and just feeling this joy, knowing that that guides what you are actually going to expect, and in this way expecting more peace, joy, love coming towards you. Queen of Cups, mastering the vibration of the waters inside of you. And we know that the waters inside of us, water is information. So that water with thought, but that water in our heart vibrates a lot and almost gives out the main vibration out there, and we attract what we vibrate. So this is kind of the understanding that you got, going from struggling, having to fight against the current, and this is a lot like Taurus is going to go through that, but this is almost you got it right at the beginning. So you can watch Taurus. If you have Taurus in your chart, this is almost like if that energy slowly went in the astral wheel like that. Okay, so here, justice. What is justice? What is justice? Whoop. Oh, here we have an Ace of Pentacle, a 6 of Pentacle. There's our 6 of Pentacle. So because we are willing to receive now, we are gaining an Ace of Pentacle, a new way to, maybe something new to invest in, something tangible, real, that can be put into the ground and grow. And this changes this understanding. Ace of Swords, the Wheel of Fortune will move when we get the understanding. If not, it will bring the same situation again and again. Okay, and what this moves is our beautiful Devil with the 3 of Swords. And that was probably something that you used to hold on to. Justice is kind of breaking this through this understanding. How maybe you kept having these disappointments when it came to receiving in life, receiving your share, compared to all the efforts that you made. So there's that Wheel of Fortune, that understanding is going to trancher, cut, make a decision here, put back the balance so that you can get there and leave this behind, which was your illusion and your prison of maybe thinking from, it's a decision. It was probably your illusion. And Saturn is karmic lessons. Why we have it so hard, and what it wants, Saturn. It wants to put what we don't have correct. It's not a protective, sugar-coated planet. It's a harsh lesson. I will slap you behind the head until you understand kind of planet. I want you to be focused, grounded, independent, and understand all the illusions that you have. And when you have an illusion, when you have a belief that is distorted, I'm gonna jail you so tight until you face it and you get out of it. I will not take your hand and guide you away from it. I will just put it in your face like hell. If you have a wound, I'm gonna stick my finger in it. That's what this guy does. He's gonna bring to a summum. If there's a distortion, he's gonna bring it to the summum of it until you act on it. So that's what justice is coming here, and that's probably why the tower is here too. So let's look at here the lovers with the Queen of Swords. So Queen of Swords, that means that our Two of Swords here. Queen of Swords, you made the decision. You got it. Either at the beginning of January or in December, but you got it. And yes, see, our King of Wands, like here, it affects how you act out there, where you decide to go to bring your fire, to put your willpower. And I have the Hangman. So you probably were in a state where you didn't feel you had power over your actions. You couldn't do anything maybe for a while because you had to get that enlightenment of where you should put your willpower, how you should act with your willpower out there. The Hangman. It's to get that wisdom, to get that understanding. We are asked to look at things from a different angle so we can make that decision and get mastery over here, our masculine side, our masculine fiery side, the one that masters willpower. And that's why there's this transformation. The way maybe you used to do things that brought you pain and disappointment, Ten of Swords, you are now transforming it. Three of Wands here. Three of Wands, because we have the Ace of Swords with the Three of Wands up there to clarify our Emperor and our Queen of Cups. And now we have the King of Pentacle. This is a lot about creating abundance, being able to take care of yourself, not struggling. And it's almost like it has to pass with your emotional state to get that understanding. Eight of Swords. Or the distortion was in your emotions. Maybe how you felt about yourself. That could have affected your capacity to bring in abundance. Here is justice again. You see, there's really a rebalancing of how maybe before you were stuck in a pattern, stuck in your capacity to how you bring forward your willpower. End of a cycle now. You're going to act differently now. Put your fire out there differently because you understand something emotionally, and that is going to give you the capacity to start receiving and building physically. I don't know if you get the... This is great. Okay. So here we have the transformation. It's almost repeating the same thing with the Pope. So that tells me that you are going to apply that. Yes. Aquarius here, the star. That means this is when I understand something emotionally in total integrity with who I am. putting back these information in the waters of the community here, and growing the next things in my life from that wisdom, being aligned with my stars, knowing that I will be backed and fulfilled. The star usually comes after the tower, because usually we understand something, and that crumbling of the old ways, after when only what is true is left, there we are, and we understand the whole purpose of it. That's why we have the faith. So this was really about a maturing of emotions, King of Cups. An emotional understanding, let's say. So here, our Two of Pentacle and our Chariot. So Two of Pentacle, so Jupiter in Capricorn, and see, Capricorn, Jupiter wants to enhance everything, but it has to pass through the funnel of Capricorn, through the lessons of Saturn. And that's why when it is not stable, when we didn't really get rid of that old way of thinking or whatever, we're put in a loop of repeating the same thing, having emotional up and down, until we actually get it, let go of the old way, and concentrate on one pentacle, one grasp on reality. Chariot and the Two of Pentacles. And here I think you do it, because, and that's why you're going to align your unconscious and your conscious, your shadow and your light, and to one goal, and maybe not having unconscious emotional beliefs that would before scatter your energy and left you not receiving. Show me. Yes, this is what I was saying, the end of that cycle that kept you stuck, for a movement forward, changing the way you bring your willpower out there, finishing a way of doing things. Now show me the Tower. Yeah, see, we have the King of Cups that arrived here before. So it is through this emotional understanding. What is the shape of my emotions? Celebrating life, like I was saying. And I have the Four of Wands. Having the capacity, this is celebrating life. This is finally letting go of an old karmic thing that brought you so much disappointment, and where you spent so much energies and you didn't receive. Now you are going to start receiving. See, here's our Queen of Swords, because you're making that choice, and what was untrue, what was an illusion, will crumble, so that you end up mastering your emotions like this and celebrating life. Show me the Eight of Pentacles. And this will affect how you invest yourself, how you make money, how all of these things happen. Maybe for some of you also a new career. But you have to let go of that illusion. Show me the Eight of Pentacles, Spirit. So, here's our prison, the Pope, and the Hermit. So our reality is going to be no more, because here we had justice coming on our, you know, Eight of Swords here. Here they put the Pope. The Pope that is here. Okay. And why? Because now we are going to follow our inner light, what we truly understood now. Walking our path with wisdom. Hermit. Walking accordingly to what we have discovered inside us. And this is what we've discovered inside us. That choice here. To go for that Ace of Cups. To go for that allowing abundance to come in order to be in our power when it comes to manifesting things. To be in control in our lives. To be abundant. To attract abundance towards us. King of Pentacle, he's the abundant king. And it all has to do almost like how we feel that dictates where we put our energy, our willpower, and having the clarity about that. And that kind of liberates us from an old prison of disappointments and heartaches that maybe we used to hold on to. The Wheel of Fortune is changing that, because there's this understanding with the sword and the scales, rebalancing a situation so you can start receiving. So you can start receiving. There it is. So Gemini, this is beautiful. I'm really excited about this. Ah, my God. Because it works a bit on every level, like a domino effect. But mastering your abundance, that's what I'm going to call it. Mastering your abundance, because of that inner choice you made, because of that understanding. Yeah. So, on this, I'm going to wish you a beautiful beginning of a decade that is going to be much more prosperous than the last one for you, if I look at this. Thank you for watching and sharing and your comments. I read all the comments, and when you share the video and you watch it, thumbs up, it helps to spread the channel. For private readings, the description is all there below. Thank you for the ones of you that gave donations. And this month again, I'm going to do a special ceremony to give you back on the full moon and the new moon. And it helps more than you think. Thank you very much for that. The winner of the free reading of last month, I'm going to write it down below on the 1st of January, because I want to give the whole month of December the chance to participate because I'm picking out of the commentaries. So that's about it for the announcement. On this, I'm going to wish you a beautiful month of January, Geminis, and I'll see you next month. All right? Namaste.